He leaned back, ready for just another haircut. But the moment her hands touched his head, a familiar voice made his heart stop. It was her. The girl he never had the courage to tell, that she was his first everything. Noah Kane had built a name the world wouldn't forget. Tech apps, Forbes covers, private jets. To most, he was unreachable. But on this rainy Tuesday, he stepped into a quiet little salon tucked between two old cafes, not for luxury, but to avoid attention. No cameras, no waiting list, just peace. A young woman greeted him, her apron speckled with water, her smile calm but tired. "Right this way, sir," she said softly, motioning to the wash station. He followed, sat down, leaned back, and closed his eyes, until she spoke again. "Let me know if the water's too warm." His eyes shot open. That voice, it hadn't changed, not even a little. He looked up, and time folded in on itself. It was her. Avenue. The girl from high school art class. The one who sat 2 rows over and laughed like she didn't care who was listening. The girl who once gave him her umbrella and walked home soaked. The girl he never told he loved, because he thought he was invisible to her. She hadn't recognized him yet. But his heart was already sprinting. And he suddenly realized, this wasn't just a haircut. This was a second chance. Noah didn't say a word at first. He just let her hands move gently through his hair, his heart pounding louder than the soft rinse of water. She hadn't changed much. Her voice still had that soft warmth, her touch still unshakably kind. But she hadn't recognized him. Not yet. "So," Ava said casually, as she worked in the shampoo, "what do you do, Mr. Kane?" He smiled faintly. "A little bit of everything." "Well, whatever it is, I'd trade it for your hair," she joked lightly. "Most guys your age are already losing the war up there." He laughed. "Maybe I just have good luck." She chuckled, then paused. "Wait, Noah?" Her hands stopped. "Noah Kane?" He looked up slowly, eyes meeting hers. "Hey, Ava." She gasped, backing up slightly. "No way! No way! You're that Noah? The one who vanished after graduation and showed up in all those business articles?" "Yeah," he said, standing now, water still dripping down the back of his neck. "That's me." She blinked. "You look different." "You look exactly the same," he said, still making the world feel softer. Ava gave a surprised laugh, then folded her arms. "You remember me?" "I never forgot you," Noah said. "You were the only one who saw me before the world did." The room fell quiet. She looked at him, the confident man in designer shoes standing awkwardly in a shampoo cape, and suddenly he wasn't a millionaire anymore. He was the quiet boy from her math class, the one who always sat alone and smiled like he didn't know how. "What are you doing here?" she asked. He smiled. "Honestly, I just walked in for a haircut, but I think I found something better." Ava stood there, still holding the towel in her hands, unsure what to say next. It was surreal. The Noah Kane, now a millionaire, standing in front of her like no time had passed. But it had. So much had changed. "I can't believe you remember me," she said finally, her voice a little quieter now. "How could I not?" he replied, stepping closer. "You were my favorite part of school." She let out a soft laugh. "Really? You never even talked to me." "That's because I was too busy trying not to pass out every time you looked my way," he said, smiling. Ava's cheeks flushed. "Stop, that can't be true." "It is," he said gently. "You were the first person who ever made me feel seen, and now I find you here, still shining in the smallest room of the city." She looked down, brushing a curl behind her ear. "Life didn't really go the way I thought it would. I was going to be a designer, maybe own my own salon one day. But things happen. My dad got sick, I had to drop out of school. You know, dreams take the back seat when real life takes the wheel. Noah's smile faded, replaced by something deeper, something that looked a lot like regret. I wish I had known, he said. I could have helped. She shook her head. You don't owe me anything, Noah. We were kids. And besides, you went off and made your dreams happen. That's something to be proud of. I'm not proud, he said, voice lower now. I'm grateful, and maybe it's time I helped someone who once helped me without even knowing. Ava looked up, confused. What are you saying? He took a breath. I want to help you open your salon, your own place. No more shampoo stations in the back of someone else's dream. She stared at him. You're serious? Noah nodded. 100%. Let me invest in you, not because you need saving, but because the world needs more of what you bring to it. Her hands trembled as she clutched the towel. She had no idea what to say, but deep down, she felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. Ava didn't answer right away. She sat on the edge of the styling chair, staring down at her worn-out sneakers, the towel still clutched tightly in her hands. The silence between them stretched, not awkward, but full of years, full of dreams left behind. Noah, she said slowly, this is a lot. I know, he replied, pulling up a stool and sitting across from her. That's why I'm not asking for an answer tonight. I'm just asking you to think about it. She finally looked up, her voice softer. What if I fail? Then you fail trying, he said simply. But you won't. I've seen how you care for people, how you make them feel safe, even when they don't know your name. That's what makes a great business, not money. Heart tears quietly rimmed her eyes, but she blinked them away quickly. You really meant all that? Back in school? That you noticed me? He nodded. You were the first person who talked to me without expecting something in return. You didn't care that I wore the same hoodie 3 days in a row. You asked about my drawings. You told me I had potential, and you meant it. Ava laughed gently through the tightness in her throat. I remember. You used to sketch app layouts in the margins of your textbooks. And now those sketches run half the world, he smiled. But none of it ever felt real, not like this. They sat there in the quiet of the empty salon, the hum of the overhead lights, the scent of hair products and faint lavender. And something else now, possibility. I'll think about it, she whispered, but I don't want you to help me just because you had a crush on me. Noah grinned. Then let me be clear, this isn't about a teenage crush. She raised a brow. No? He leaned forward slightly, his voice low and honest. This is about the fact that I walked into this place needing a break from the noise, and found the one thing that's felt real in years. Ava looked at him, and this time she didn't look away, because for the first time in forever, someone didn't just see her for what she was doing. They saw her for who she really was. If this story touched something inside you, share it. Because sometimes, the one who walked away with the world still remembers the one who once gave them a reason to chase it.